All right, let's get into it. We're diving into a source that claims to have cracked the code on how the world's highest achievers operate. We're going to break down the key principles they supposedly live by, from their core mindset all the way to their daily grind. And look, the source material we're digging into today isn't just about the top 1%. No, we're talking about the lessons learned from billionaires, elite athletes, titans of industry. We're talking about the absolute peak of the mountain. So we've distilled all these secrets into a clear three-part blueprint. First, there's the foundation you have to build, then the playbook you use to win, and finally the system that keeps it all going for the long haul. Okay, first things first, let's talk about the foundation, the principles the source says you absolutely have to nail before you do anything else. Think of this as the bedrock. If this isn't solid, nothing else you build on top of it will stand. So the source kicks things off with a pretty bold claim. It argues that for ambitious people, and it specifically mentions men in this context, the single most critical decision you'll ever make is who you choose as your partner. The whole idea here is that you need a stable, supportive home environment that's a sanctuary, not another battleground. It's positioned as a core strategic decision, not just a life choice. Now, I really like this slide because it makes a crucial distinction. The source says, hey, listen to everyone's opinion, your friends, your family, whoever, but you should only give a say, real influence in your decisions to the people who have actually walked the path and achieved what you want to achieve. It's all about filtering out the noise from the truly valuable advice. This one is a big one. The source pushes this idea of extreme ownership or radical responsibility. Whether your business goes under, a big deal falls through, or you even get injured, the mindset is to accept it as your fault. Why? Because that's the only way you can honestly analyze what went wrong and actually improve for next time. Okay, so that's the foundation. Now let's get into the playbook. This is where we shift from mindset into the specific strategies for actually building and, just as importantly, protecting your wealth. This is where the ideas become actions. This might sound a little counterintuitive, right? The source claims that most real generational wealth isn't built in the sexy industries we always hear about. It's not about creating the next viral app. It's about finding the hidden opportunities in practical, essential, and, let's be honest, kind of boring markets. And this slide just drives that point home perfectly. We're talking about logistics, timber, B2B services, the unglamorous stuff that actually makes the world go round. The strategy isn't to reinvent the wheel, but to find an established market and just be a little bit better, a little more efficient, and capture a massive piece of the pie. So once you've made the money, the next play is all about keeping it. The source advises you to convert your cash into what it calls A1 assets. And the key feature, as you can see, is that they are intentionally hard to get rid of in a hurry. This protects you from making emotional, impulsive decisions. Right, so the whole point here isn't about getting quick, flashy returns. It's about protecting your wealth from your own worst impulses. The fact that you can't sell a hotel in an afternoon is a feature, not a bug. Plus, building a portfolio like this gives you serious credibility with banks, which you can then leverage for even bigger opportunities down the road. All right, so you've got the foundation, you have the playbook, but none of that matters without the system to execute it. This section is all about the daily grind, the habits and discipline required when nobody is watching you. I love this comparison. According to the source, motivation is totally unreliable. It's that runner's high. It feels incredible when it hits, but you can't count on it to get you through the whole race. Real, long-term success is built on something much less glamorous, but way more dependable. Pure, simple discipline. That's the engine. This line is so powerful. It's all about avoiding complacency. The source warns that winning once doesn't make you a winner. It's something you have to do over and over again. Sure, celebrate the victory for a moment, but if you rest on your laurels for too long, you're going to wake up and find the world has left you behind. And this gets to the real heart of it. The source emphasizes over and over that the public success people see is never, ever the whole picture. It's just the tip of the iceberg. Because the real story is what's happening beneath the surface. The bigger the public win, the championship, the jet, the massive company, the more years of unseen sacrifice, grueling discipline, and private victories went into making it happen. Thousands of hours of work for every minute of glory. So finally, what's the end game? What happens when you actually combine this foundation, this playbook, and this system, and you stick with it day in and day out for years? And here it is. The source concludes that true mastery, that state where what you do looks so easy and elegant to everyone on the outside, That's the result of at least a decade of obsessive, focused work on one single thing. It's not magic, it's just accumulated time and effort reaching a critical mass. So, what we've really unpacked here is a blueprint. It's a roadmap for long-term achievement that's built on a solid mindset, practical strategies, and just relentless discipline. And it leaves all of us with one very big and very personal question to think about.